Blessings. Blessings and welcome, everyone. It is always such a gift to be here with you in the now, in the NOWOSPHERE, in the now moment. You know what? No matter, I get up at 4:30 in the morning, I get blessings. Hello, everyone. Already hopping on Instagram. You get up at 4:30 in the morning, you get up at 6 in the morning. And still, it's like at 11 o'clock, I'm like, shut, it's like, go. So let me just say hi on the YouTube, and the Swami's here. The Swami. So check out the Swami origami. If you follow me on Insta, you know you've seen the Swami. So he's sitting in where I would like to sit. Oh, there he goes. Okay. Thank you, dear Swami. Blessings and welcome, everyone. It is always such an amazing gift. There's people on YouTube already, and already folks saying hi on the Instagram. Thank you so much for hopping on. It is such a gift to be here with you. I'm going to take a breath coming into this moment. My name is Tuesday May Thomas, and this is my weekly live stream called 4D Trinity. Once a month on this weekly live stream, I do this show called Q&A, Ask Me Anything, where you can literally ask me anything. And the idea is, what I do is, if you've asked a question, then on a higher level, your higher self is in agreement that I have your divine permission to channel your higher self, to quest and offer you a message that will be a divine enlightenment breadcrumb trail along your path. And sometimes the questions are about relationships, sometimes they are about money, work, etc., all sorts of things. So a healing, sometimes as we're guided, the Osho Zen will come to help us. If you're a subscriber at my YouTube, you know I do a weekly tarot. And in the past, I've been making mini clips of that and putting it on the Instagram. Yet there's so many new projects happening now in my world that I don't know if I have time to do that anymore, at least for now. So if you are interested in that tarot and you are enjoying it, subscribe to me on YouTube, and that way it'll come into your feed. So thank you again, everyone, for being here today. A few announcements. I send out a monthly love letter that has my blog and offerings for subscribers to my website. That link is down in the show more box at YouTube, and that link is at my main page of Instagram. If you're interested, check out my website. If you're interested in the messages I share about the grid matrix of collective consciousness teachings, all of the metaphysical aspects that I love to channel and to hold space for, and understanding your multidimensionality, and really every arc of spiritual growth and 4D consciousness, that is heaven on earth consciousness. That is what I'm here to do, be and embody, and to hold space for you, for me, for us. And so if any of that is of interest to you, go to my website. It's the first page. Subscribe there. And I'm still sending out this recent month's love letter. And at the end of this month, I will send out the next one. So there's some free goodies in it. Download MP3 with power affirmations, access to an article I wrote and that has been published called Conscious Alchemy, and all sorts of other things. So I welcome you, and I thank you, and I thank you. I thank you so very much. I'm so very grateful for all of the followers at Instagram and all of the subscribers at YouTube. I love these platforms. So thank you for being here with me. Again, this is 4D Trinity, my weekly live stream. Every week I go live at 11 a.m. Pacific Standard Time on Instagram and at YouTube. And the idea with 4D Trinity is that it is here that we bridge fourth dimensional consciousness through the unity of mind, body, and emotions with spirit. The way that I teach is that your spirit is, and pardon my French, but until I get a download of a new and improved or a different, more impeccable way to say this, your spirit and your soul is unfuckable with. And that is a part of the teaching that I'm here to invite us to remember, right? It is here that we invoke our full multi-dimensional presence and remembrance, individually and collectively. So this is a beautiful, big, juicy aspect that we are with at this time and space. And all of the teachings I share, even here, if there's a bunch of questions about sex or relationships, it's always rooted in love and in that which will truly serve your path of spiritual growth and sovereignty. So on the other weeks that I don't do the Q&A, Ask Me Anything, we talk about metaphysics, we talk about multidimensionality, we talk about spiritual growth. Next week's show, we're going to be talking about AI, consciousness. Woo! Okay, that's going to be a trip. So without further ado, collectively, I'm going to grab the rose quartz. We are going to mindfully enter the quartz crystalline cave. And this is what we do with every show that we share together. And it is here that we meet each other as our higher selves. It is here that we do the work. So you can imagine a rose quartz crystalline cave. I use this crystal as the set point for it. So together we'll take a breath. And we'll drop into that sweet sacred space through which we are always connected with higher self, with source, with love, with God. And as our higher selves, this beautiful community, we feel ourselves entering the space of the rose quartz crystalline cave. And it is here that we will share our words, our emotions, our ideas. It is here that we will share divine communion and transmit and translate messages from your higher self, from the higher self, for the highest good of all. Rooted in love, rooted in light. We are that, and so it is. Okay, so blessings, blessings, blessings. Okay, all right, so just in case you do not know, and you're on Instagram, and this is new, blessings everyone, thank you for saying hello. If this is new for you, the way that we do this is it's first come, first serve, and I've used to be here for up to 2 hours or more, but because I'm making a movie now, if you don't know, I'm making a movie. Or the divine source is making a movie through me, and it's called Grid Mind Science. And it's about all of these divine teachings. And so things are getting realigned in my schedule so I can make space for it. If you're a subscriber to my YouTube, you know, because I'm keeping a Grid Mind Science log of the progress, of which there's only one now. So the idea is that this show is going to be condensed along with the other 4 DTs. We would sometimes be up for 2.5 to 4 hours. The other 4 DTs are going to be an hour long. That's my intention, to hit it. And now the Q&A, we're going to see if we can get it all wrapped up within an hour and a half. Okay? So what I'm going to do is, I know someone sent in a question through the email. So Weepy's here. How are you? I'm amazing. Thank you. Namaste from India. Namaste. Shabana, welcome back. Yes, you could have a reading. You would like to ask a question. Okay, hello. Can I message from spirit about my mail? Hey, love, how are you? Blessings still standing. Nice to see you. May I get a love reading? Okay, so here we go. So this is how we do it. Is my subscribers on YouTube, they drop a question in the comments. And if you are at Instagram, I ask you to drop a message through the DM. And what I do is I navigate my way back and forth to create the most divine offerings for everyone. Okay, so I'll go into my messages on Insta so that I'm in and I'm aware and present. And then we will get started. Okay, so I am going to start over here on YouTube. Namaste. So the first one is Weepy. So Weepy, what is your question, dear? Make it as clear and succinct as you can. And then Eleni Selassie is saying, can I have a message from spirit about my mail, about your mail, M-A-I-L. Okay, so first question, since it's already up, and absolutely, Shabana, I see you have a question. We're going to get to that. And in the past, I would sometimes spend up to 20 minutes on each offering, but because the intention is to be more succinct and perhaps get to extend and communicate with more of you, we're going to see if we can have Spirit really, really clarify the information that we're being guided to share. All right. All right. I see you. I see you, Miss D. Okay. Okay. So what I do want to ask is, so I see Weepy wrote your question, so I'm gonna get to you since you were the very first on. And what I will ask is, Eleni, I just want to make sure that you're asking, you said, can I message from Spirit about my mail? I do not understand your question. So if you could clarify it, and then I'll come back to you. But in the meantime, I'm going to go to Weepy. Can I ask, how will Darius react when he sees me there? Is he going to leave? Will we reconcile there? Okay. Can I ask, how will Darius react when he sees me there? Is he gonna leave? Will we reconcile there? All right, let's take a moment. This is interesting. I remember last month this character coming up before, this Darius, and I'm assuming you're the same person, still concerned with regard to this person. And what I'm getting, and remember, everything I share is for the highest good and to be interpreted by you, right? In the way that serves you. And I'm just sharing what I get. So what I get is that Darius does not see you the way you think he sees you. So let me get some clarification on that. This is interesting. I'm getting that he sees a relationship that has not yet begun. Let me just go back into your question here. How will Darius react when he sees me there? Is he going to leave? Will we reconcile there? I'm getting that he's going to want to talk to you. If he does leave, it's not because he doesn't want to talk to you. So there's, what I'm getting right now is that there's this 50-50 chance that the reconciliation will happen. And there's this space that higher self is guiding for you to hold for yourself that speaks to non-neediness, right? That speaks to a perfect balance of being open and receptive, yet not being clingy. Even if you have expectations and you really want it to go a certain way, there's a grace, there's an aspect of the goddess, of the divine feminine, that is welcoming your awareness in this situation. He's confused. I get that he's confused. Is there someone else? Is there someone else in the mix here too? Either on your side or on his side. He's confused. He can't be, okay, what I'm getting is that he can't be pushed. So that's why I believe higher self is urging not to be too needy or too clingy, because he's a very free spirit, this Darius. He feels very big in his energy, and he's not one to be held down, tied down, or confined. So even in that light, if that resonates, in consideration, if you do have expectations and you want to be romantically involved with this person on that level, which I get, there's an interest there, understand that this is not your normal dude. This is not your normal person. This is like this is a very extreme character is what I get about this person. Like someone that you've never been with before, actually. But he's also never been with someone like you before. So there's this interesting dance of the energies that are exploratory. He's also very careful. He's not in a rush he's not in a rush. And in fact, while there's this openness of exploring edges of relationship with you, I get that he's not really looking for one. He's definitely in a relationship with himself. he does like you, yet it feels like it might be too soon for any of that. So I want to see if you feel like he sees me as annoying. Well, the thing about this, Weepy, yes, there is someone else. Okay, so the thing about this is why you can't be too clingy or needy. And remember, we're multidimensional beings. So remember that even if you're not acting clingy or needy, if you're psychically like, what is he going to do? What is he going to say? Blah, 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 blah. If you're like running and running and running those words and those sentences, those programs, he's getting it. And he's very psychic. I'm getting that this person is very special. He's not the usual dude. He's very attuned, whether he practices meditation or not. He's just got it going on. Some people are just more sensitive, and he's one of them. And so if you're sensing that he's getting a little annoyed, that's where that higher self message is saying, like, be the goddess, and the goddess is magnetic. The goddess holds a sacred space for that which is for the highest good to be added to them to be, but is not trying to manipulate or seduce or make anything happen, you see. And that's your cool card. That's where you get to practice being cool, being detached, being present, yet again, not clingy, not needy. So here's the thing. Remember, I don't know if you watch my other shows, but on 4D Trinity, I think in the last month, we did a show called Bubble of Light. Anytime you have a Darius thought, and this goes for any of us, if you feel that you're on repeat, thinking thoughts about a certain person over and over and over again, but you're acutely aware that there's something psychic happening, that they're like getting it, and even if it's on a subconscious level and it's kind of like putting them off or changing the dynamics of the relationship in a way, but you can't stop thinking of them, put all those thoughts in a bubble of light. Just call in a bubble of light. And anytime you have a Darius thought, anytime you have a whatever thought, anyone that this resonates with, you put it in the bubble of light so that it psychically does not run grids. If you study with me, you understand this. So it psychically does not connect you to them. And then, especially if they're not looking for a relationship, that's not what they're kind of focusing on at this point. Then that energy is not going to psychically connect to them. And you can have your thoughts, but they're just not going to stick to them and stick them to you. And especially in a way, if they don't want to be stuck, and this person does not want to be stuck. So I say, keep your cool, keep detached, and work on being present. You know, be your authentic self. That's what he likes about you, is you being authentic. Use the bubble of light so that you don't become annoying. That goes for all of us. I do it all the time, putting stuff in the bubble of light so it doesn't run energy in the universe, so it doesn't connect you psychically to the other person. And as well, when that bubble is done holding space for those thoughts, for those feelings, of whatever that expression, it disappears. It just disappears into white light, and it doesn't leave a trace, right? It's just a safe, sacred space when you have those thoughts to keep them. So I'm going to have to move on now, because there's a lot of questions. So blessings. Thank you for being here. And I pray that that truly serves your path at this point with the infamous Darius. Okay, so Shabana, you were next. So let me scroll down. May you get a love reading. Okay, Shabana. Let's see. Where's your question, my dear? Are you here? I think I saw your question. Just need to find it. And you know what? If I can't find it, then we're going to come back. Okay, Shabana, come back, my dear, if you went for tea, and ask your question. So we're going to go on to Eleni Selassie. And you were the lady who I had asked about, that you had said, can I message from Spirit about my mail? And I asked you for clarity. And then let's see if we have clarity. Oh, can I get a message from Spirit about my mail from Amazon? Was my mail shipped from Amazon, delivered properly by UPS, or taken by an internal thief or by a random thief who is poor? Wow. Wow. And then Shabana's back. Yes, dear, write your question. I'll come to you right after this. So Eleni, this is deep. Was my mail shipped from Amazon, delivered properly by UPS, or taken by an internal thief or by a random thief who is poor? Well, let's ask. I get no right away. I get, okay, So this is kind of curt, but I get no and be patient. It has not been delivered yet is the answer that I get. Okay. All right. So we're going to move on. If Shabana has her question, if she doesn't, then we're going to go to the next person. Okay. So I pray that serves you, Eleni. I know it was short and sweet. Oh, and honey, I'm sorry. I don't mean to use that. But on Instagram, please direct message me instead of writing your question up on the screen because it scrolls and I can't see it then. So you please direct message me on the Insta, and I will shift over to Insta in a little bit. I'm just going to do 1 or 2 more questions on YouTube, and then I'll come to what's over on Instagram. And I know there is an email. Someone actually sent an in-depth question on email that we'll get to. Okay, so still standing, message retracted. How did Jay, okay, so still standing. No, that's Miss D. Here we go. My name is Ashley. I wanted to know, what do this guy named Hosa see in me? Thank you. Okay, still standing. What does this guy named Hosa see in you? I want to make sure I have that. Okay, Ashley. What does Hosa see in you? So right away, higher self, do you know Led Zeppelin? That song, Whole Lotta Love? Whole lot of love, a whole lot of love. I don't know if you know it. Okay, Hosa sounds like fun. That's all I'm going to say. No, that's not probably all I'm going to say. Does that resonate with you? Okay, yet, so I see a whole lot of love and I get a whole lot of fun, yet I also get a little bit of a player energy. So if this is someone that you are interested in getting with and being with and sharing intimately or romantically with, just know, higher self is saying, just know that it's not necessarily that they're incapable of being monogamous, but just perhaps this is the kind of person, what I'm getting, that might have a little bit of a wandering eye. And so if you're a jealous type, that could be hell on wheels. If you're cool and confident and detached and are just in it to have fun and to have a playful exploration of perhaps what could be, then you can have fun. But I get that he, okay, I'm getting another, and this is like the terminology that they're downloading. He likes what he sees. Okay, Ashley, he likes what he sees. And he's that type of a person. He likes what he sees. There's a whole lot of love, a whole lot of fun there, but he is a little bit of a player. You're not the only girl that he likes what he sees, if you know what I mean. So if you can be cool with that, but again, I don't get that he's necessarily playing every girl, but he's a little bit of a flirt and a little bit of a player. Okay, honey? So if you're like cool, and if you're kind of on that, if you're the same type of person, then you're a good match. All right, my dear. I pray that that serves you. I pray that that serves you. Now, okay, let's see. Now, next was Ms. D. So Ms. D, how did Jay see you today? How did Jay, this is from Miss D, how did Jay see you today? And after this one, I'll go into, and we'll see what messages are on the DM at Insta. Okay, so for Miss D, how did Jay see you today? Something, okay, so we're gonna pull a card. I also have the little angel cards with me. We'll use those as we're guided. So for Miss D, how did Jay see her today? This is very powerful, very beautiful, Ms. D. So I'll show the Insta fam, and I'll show you on YouTube. So this is courage, intensity, and patience. So, okay, I'm getting that Jay looks up to you. I don't know if this is what, I don't know. Okay, so I'm getting like business. There's something about business here. And Jay likes how He likes how you operate. He sees integrity, responsibility, and honesty. And if this is a potential work situation or a business relationship, what I'm getting is it's surrounded by stars. Woo! I don't know what that means, but you'll know what that means to you. It's surrounded by stars. That's pretty cool. But he sees you in your power, Miss D. He sees you in your power. And he's not afraid of it. So again, whether this is romantic or business, it's very cool, very, very powerful, very powerful. It sounds beautiful. So blessings, I pray that serves you. Oh yes, okay, so now we're gonna go into the Insta and we're gonna see. And again, if you are sending messages, okay, there's no messages. So please send your message through DM on Instagram rather on the screen. I'm going to get back to YouTube here. Let's see if there's more. And if there isn't, then I'm going to go to the email that came in. Shabana, are you back? Are you back? A love reading. Okay, when things are happening, when things going to happen? Okay, and Eleni says, so why did they redeliver the same package? Okay, so first let's get to Shabana. Shabana. And you know, Eleni, anyway, I'll come back. Okay, Shabana says, a love reading. When are things going to happen? Okay. I'm getting a lot for you, Shabana. And it may or may not be something you want to hear right now, but I'm getting not now, never. Not in the way you think it should be, because first you get to change. You have to change is what the guides are saying, is what higher self is saying. So it sounds awful, like, what? Not now, never. But it's speaking specifically to a curve and an arc of change, of growth that you're going through. And that for your highest good, so that patterns do not continue to repeat, there is something gets to shift in you, something gets to change in you that will serve in your higher good, in having the type of relationship that you're ready for now. And I'm getting that you have been doing your work, you have been healing, you have been growing, yet there's a cycle that is not complete all the way just yet. There is a cycle that has not been complete just yet. Higher self is saying, and your job is to love yourself more. So what I'm getting is it's flipping the switch, is it's flipping and it's asking you to understand that right now the main relationship is that which you're conducting with yourself. You're on a cycle of growth, but you have not come full circle yet. And there's gifts for you here. There's gifts for you from spirit. There's gifts for you from you. And once you have received them into your heart, and you've allowed that new level of awareness and realization and healing to happen, what comes is an aha. I'm getting an aha for you, that even if it's just a slight fractal of awareness, changes everything. It has a ripple effect for you, and including your relationships. So again, the first priority relationship for you is you. We're going to pull a little angel card for you. Resilience. So I don't know, resilience. I don't know what you've been going through. higher self is like, but you're not done yet. Faith, faith, my dear, faith. What I'm getting is you're almost there. You have the resilience, you have the ability to keep going on this path for yourself. And that's all you can do, because it is about you. And from that healing, the relationship will come. Relationships will come. And I'm getting that this isn't just about affecting your romantic relationships, your sex relationships, your intimate relationships. This is the intimacy with family, with friends, dynamics with work colleagues. This is like whatever this aha, this little click of this final healing, that it's going to affect everything. How very powerful. You are resilient, and have faith, my dear. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for your question. I'm going to just check Insta. Okay. So, oh yes, Eleni, let's come back to you. So why did they redeliver the same package? Champagne, hey girl, what's up? Nice to see you. Okay, I'm gonna scroll. That's down there though. I'm gonna scroll back up and we'll get down. So why did they redeliver the same package? So okay, Eleni. So this is what I'm getting from your higher self, is that this situation is a direct example of the microcosm and the macrocosm of how, and I say all this with love. Again, if you're on Instagram and you have a question, please DM me, okay, instead of writing it on the screen. Thank you so much. I will get to that after this question here on YouTube. So what higher self is saying, Eleni, and again, I say this with love and with detachment, because I don't know you. I have nothing to gain from. It's all love. Yet I am getting a very strong message for you, and I share it with love. And it speaks to that this experience, this circumstance. Okay, higher self is saying to ask yourself, how does this circumstance with the package, the delivery, the non-delivery, you asking the questions and and all this, these crossed wires. And when we're not in the thick of a Mercury retrograde, and these things happen, we get to look at, how am I creating this circumstance? How am I involved in creating this? And so the message speaks to impatience. It speaks to your own clear communication from the beginning about what it is that is important to you and what you want. This Amazon package speaks about your whole life, aspects and areas that you perhaps can look at and consider. How does this miscommunication, this you not getting what you think you want, or getting too many of them, or not enough, or it's the wrong package, or redelivered, or whatever, what I'm seeing is all of these threads, all like a ball of yarn. And this is also what your higher self is saying, is that this is representing, how does this, higher self is inviting you to ask yourself, how does this one experience reflect different aspects in your life? So where else is it that there's a similar conundrum, that there's a similar confusion, a similar impatience, a similar push? There's pushing. There's a little bit of force here, and control, and what is being invited is to breathe and to step back and allow yourself to see how your own actions are contributing to your frustration. And I say that with love. And that goes for all of us that perhaps have similar aspects going on. I truly say that with love. I pray that it serves you. I pray. All right, my Instas. Honey, you're not putting any messages in the DM. Okay, so Instagram family, please DM me your questions. Okay, that's how I will read them. I will read them from the DM. Okay, and I pray that you can hear me, that the volume is up, that you're getting that message. Okay, I pray that's really getting through, because I see there's questions, but I'm not reading them from the Instagram screen because they scroll. Okay, so please DM me. You did? Lily White 33, did it not send? She says. That's very British. The grammar. Did it not? Did it not? I'll go back in and we'll check. No, I don't see it here. Wait. No, these are from 4 weeks ago. No. 12 hours ago. No, I don't have any new messages. Okay. And I don't believe I receive requests for other people to be in these live videos. So, jamais. I really don't even know what that means, but that's a little too intricate at this point. So, while it sounds lovely and cozy, we're going to move on for now. So please, again, send your message. I will check again. Okay. You did. You did. There you are. Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for doing that. All right. And because I know that jamais has been, I've seen your question there, or I've seen it scrolling. And so I will go to you first, and then Lily White, thank you for your question. I will get to you. So jamais says, can my guides give me any input on my dreams and spiritual experiences I have been questioning? Can my guides give me any input on my dreams and spiritual experiences I have been questioning? And remember, I'm channeling your higher self, which is your guide. And each individual's higher self is a part of the collective higher self. Okay, so just that we remember, are in tune with that aspect. Okay. So I'm getting something, jamais. That's how I'm going to call you. I'm getting something about flying, which is very, very exciting. So new dimensions, new heights, new levels of ascension and of enlightenment. Okay, so this is what I'm getting, is that you are experiencing fractals of altered states of consciousness in dream time, and it's bleeding into fractals of expression in your daytime. And what I'm getting from your higher self is if you intend or wish to go deeper into them, to be shown more, for more to be revealed to you for your highest good, your higher self is saying you have to change your diet. I'm not saying you have to. Your higher self is offering changing your diet. Now, I don't know, are you a vegetarian? Well, I know I can ask, but just in this banter of going back and forth, there's something in your diet, and it also speaks to alcohol, cigarettes, marijuana, and I know we sometimes don't like to hear that. If we enjoy our relationship with those substances and we're like, oh man, I got to change that. But yes, and it doesn't necessarily mean that you have to give everything up right away and go cold turkey, but there's definitely changes. There's things in your diet that can be let go of, and that you might actually, what I'm getting is that as you might actually find out that as you kind of explore and really do some muscle testing, also is what I'm getting. Because what I'm feeling from your higher self is that there's actually things that you're eating. There's only one or two, but there's things that you're eating that you're unaware of that are actually causing an incongruent, whether it's digestive problems or taking too much of your fire to digest. It's like there's something that's creating a stagnancy in your digestion, which is slowing your frequency down, which is not allowing you to be bumped up to those higher frequencies where you can fly. You've probably already flown in your dreams, but I'm seeing flight. I'm seeing flight, flying in your dreams. I'm seeing flight, taking flight in your life. But to do it, you know, if your belly's full and if your body's full of heavy foods or drugs or toxins that frequentially do not allow the correct life force charge for your light body to pick it up and to gain levity, that's what the strong guidance is right now. And again, it may be one or two. And as you like muscle test or you explore and you're being like, oh my God, like I remember when I was young, just side story. I lived, when I was little, boo-boo, I lived off of dairy products. I would put a whole block of cheese in between two pieces of bread when I was a kid, and I'd just, I'd eat yogurt. Yet at the same time, I was always one of those phlegmy children. Just mucus, coughing. It was all phlegmy and blowing my nose. You know, it was just a lot of phlegm. And I was like wondering, and then I always got allergies, and I never put it together, you see. And that's like, and now it's, my body only allows in certain dairy. And now I understand, after many years of figuring out, you know, each of our bodies is like a divine chemistry lab, a biology lab, and we all have different things that our body is in harmony and that serves it. Some people, they feel they need to eat meat. You know, other people, they can't even think about eating meat or whatever it is. But so that's just an example for you that there may be something that you're doing on a daily basis. It could even be a tea or a type of tea or a type of coffee or a type of dairy that if you changed it to a different brand, or if maybe you're not eating organic eggs and your body's like, it's time to raise a frequency. We can't do these 99-cent store eggs anymore, or what, I don't know. It's not for me to say. That's between you and your body. But I'm just offering that. Okay, but it's ready for you to fly. You're ready to fly, and that's really very, very awesome. So blessings, and thank you for your question. Thank you. I'm going to move on to Lily White. Lily. Okay. All right, dear. Hey, how does the man I seen today view me? Does he fancy me? LOL. Why does he run away when he sees me? Why does he run away? Okay, Lily, let's see. Let's take a moment. I feel like the cards want to come out. Oh, well, okay. What I'm getting right away, even without even shuffling the cards, is yes, he does fancy you, and that's why he runs away, because he's involved with someone. Now, whether it's a full-on commitment, like a boyfriend, girlfriend, or there's an engagement or something, but I get that he has already kind of put an interest, has kind of devoted himself in a certain direction with someone, yet, okay, I'm getting he's very attracted to you. He's very attracted to you. And you know, when men are, and I don't mean to make a blanket statement, brothers and male counterparts that are supporting and out here listening. And this is, I'm not talking as higher self now, I'm talking as Tuesday. In my experience, if a man has not had the experience of cultivating his ability to hold his attraction energy towards women with humility and with integrity, he doesn't know what to do in this, so he has to run away, and until he figures that out. And that only comes with experience. And it's the same for women, right? We get, I mean, I know I've been around people I've had a crush on where my knees, and this was in my 30s. This isn't even like when I was 13. My knees were actually shaking because I was so in crush. I had such a crush on this person. Just to sit next to them, I was like, my knees were knocking. So, you know, it's an experience that we all go through. But that's okay. But getting back to higher self level of things, yes, that's what I get, is that he does fancy you, and he's but he's already invested some of his energy over here. And I get at this moment in time, he's not about to do a U-turn. Yet what he's doing is he's acting responsibly. Thank you for the love heart. He's acting responsibly, and which is very lovely. If he really does have an attraction towards a woman that he's already sort of put some energy into, and he doesn't know how to handle his attraction towards you, then he's actually doing the quote right thing by he's practicing integrity. He just doesn't know how to stand in your presence and maybe look at you, you beautiful goddess, without fumbling or without it being obvious, you know. And so he's doing his own thing to train himself to learn how to be honorable, how to have integrity, how to keep his seeds that he's planting with this other person moving in that direction. Now, I don't know, that could all turn around, it could all change, but to answer your question, that's what we're getting from higher self. And we didn't even pull the cards. Yeah, I get that he's young in that respect. And you're older, energetically wise, with holding your space, holding your goddess energy. And I think that's maybe why he gets, you know, that he's got to kind of like turn the corner and run away, because he hasn't had direct experience with that. So goddess on, Lily. Goddess on, my dear. I pray that serves you. You're welcome. You're so welcome. You thought that. Oh, okay. I see your comments now. See, I don't see much without the glasses from a distance here. Do I sense it just remaining this way? Okay, all I'm getting from higher self is yes for now. Yes for now, because he does have an interest. He does have an interest in this other person. Okay. And he has integrity. So it would serve you to match his integrity, to honor that, right? Because as well, we don't want someone, if we're going to get with someone, we would like that happens because they really want to be with us too, not because there's any force. And not that I'm saying that you're doing that, but it's allowing things to be beautiful and organic, right? Yes, very respectable. Okay, so we're going to come back over here. Still standing. Says, thank you. I'll be very watchful. Oh, okay. Interested in a love relationship, but I understand that work thing, right? Okay, Champagne, here we are getting to you. Okay. Let's see. Where are we? Champagne. Hey, good morning. And I know you were, you know, I remember last week's 4DT, you had made a comment and I couldn't read it correctly. But I get it. I got it. And I had actually written you a little note at the end of the show there on the comment. So I pray you got it. I know you were just being funny, but I didn't get it at the time, Champagne. And everyone, I don't know who Champagne is. We're just connecting on YouTube here, but you're a regular and I appreciate your sincerity. And your questions are always really juicy. And I feel that they really serve the community. So thank you for being here, Champagne. So Champagne wants to ask, I want to ask, who is my spiritual tribe? As in my gifts I inherited from, please and thank you. Okay, I want to ask, who is my spiritual tribe? As in my gifts I inherited from. So right away I get seeing the voyeurs, the visionaries. And remember a while ago, Champagne, there was that aspect, I forget if the ascension was the word that we were using or not with you, but remember that was that thing where you were being initiated into seeing both light and dark. I think that was just last month, right? And you were kind of feeling like, how do I handle this? Or sometimes you felt that your energy was shrinking and you don't want to shrink. You want to be love and light. And I'm rephrasing, of course. And you were trying to understand all that. Well, so what I'm getting is that that's, if we're going to allow for now, for what higher self is guiding to share, is it's the vision, it's the visionary. It's the ability to see. And it's so succinct with last month. With that, seeing the light and the dark. It is to bring down to earth messages of light to dispel the darkness. That's what I'm getting. That is really, really powerful. It is to bring down to earth messages of light to dispel the darkness. And I'm also getting that it starts at home, right? Our training in that way, if you and any of us should choose the tribe, should choose the gifts of your tribe, if we're going to put it in those terms. The training, as always, is with ourselves and with our immediate circumstances and communities, your roommates, if you have roommates, your pets, if you have pets, your communities, your family. And this is where family is really just such a gift, because it's often with those members, you may be blessed with very harmonious circumstances in your human tribe, right? In your family tribe, your 3D tribe. Yet, if otherwise, that's where the real initiations are of using your vision. And ultimately, right, if we get deep here, because what I teach is about the 4D consciousness, and it's turning on our light sight, which is, if you study with me, the heart, what I teach is that the heart and the third eye are pretty much the same. They're twins. They're twins. They reflect a lot of the similar aspects as one another. This is true vision. This is true vision. These are the physical eyes, and they see the 3D vision. They see the world and what we are told of the world. Your heart and your third eye are what sees, sure, you see the world, but you see through the world. You see through the veils of what we're taught the world is, the polarity, right? Here at this channel and at the teachings I share, the world is the 3D, is the matrix, if you will, is the grid matrix of collective consciousness. What we do as we bridge heaven on earth realization, we turn on the heart, the third eye, through our practices, through our sincere application of choosing love with our spiritual will over and over again. And I feel that that is where you're at. If this resonates with you, right? Higher self is like, remind her about the spiritual will muscle. So the spiritual will is your ability, again, to choose love over and over and over and over again, no matter what circumstance, whether you never even open your mouth in a certain environment or with certain people, but it's the thoughts that you think, that you hold, that you keep. Because remember earlier, one of the questions, and I was saying, girl, put that in the bubble of light. Don't let that psychically, you don't even have to open your mouth, but your thoughts extend beyond you. And so remember as well, side note, I'm making a film called Grid Mind Science that breaks down the metaphysics of how your thoughts, your words, your energy extends and connects you to everything in the universe. I am on Instagram. I just started the new page, Grid Mind Science. There's videos here on my YouTube in the playlist. We're going to keep collecting information. So just if this intrigues you, I welcome you to dip in or to follow, or, let's get that conversation going, because it's a big one. And so this is where you're at. So choosing your spiritual will, using your spiritual will, which is just choosing love. It's a muscle. It's a musculature. And the more that you do that, the easier it will be to do that. But that's it. Your tribe, it's vision. It's visionary. It's bringing down to earth those messages of light to dispel the darkness. I'm amazed. That's really powerful. That is really juicy, powerful. So blessed. Blessing champagne. I pray that serves you. Okay, she says, wow, okay, interesting. Yes, I'm doing that right. That night light that shines up the dark room. You got anything as to my spiritual tribe like guides to work with? You know what I get right away, Champagne, is for you to meditate or to pray or to call in and to ask your higher self. So, because this is your personal thing, and I don't feel that this is something that I'm not getting that I'm supposed to channel that for you, but that's for you to explore in terms of you asking your higher self. What I am getting is an angel or angels. That I will say. Yet which one or who, whether it's an ascended master, whether it's an archangel, whether it's a who, what, I'm not sure, but that's for you to explore and to ask with and to receive. Okay, my dear? Bless, bless, bless. All right, and I know Elani came back on and you've some very, very detailed information, but let me just run down here. Anushre says, hi, hello, SPE Consciousness, blessings and welcome. What do you think of the CE5, Dr. Stephen Greer, etc.? Honey, you're going to have to tell me more about that. That this is, I don't understand what you're saying. So please educate me. Okay. And what I'm going to do, okay, that helps you big time. Okay, great, champagne, awesome. So what I'm going to do is I'm going, and I know, Eleni, you have some very, very detailed stuff, yet there is a question that came in that I want to make sure that we get to. And I see there's more. Are there more? Oh, Pfeffenop. I think we might have someone with a foot fetish. Someone, Pfeffenop says, hi, can you show both bottom of your feet and scrunch your toes for 10 seconds? Try it without getting a toe cramp, please. I know I'm saying ask me anything, but it doesn't mean I have to do anything. Okay. And I'm not being facetious here, but that's, we'll think about whether that's something important that we need to review, and we'll get back to you. Okay, so but for now, I'm going to go into the question that came in the email, and I don't do those anymore because, but because I had not officially said that, because it does take time, and as I said earlier, we are making these shows more succinct. Okay, so I'm not going to be spending a lot of time here, and the questions on the email are paragraphs long. So this is coming in from India, and I'm so grateful. There's followers and supporters all over the world, and I'm so very grateful. So thank you and welcome. Thank you and welcome. Yes, you can happily ever after. Put your question in as soon as you come on to YouTube. Thank you for saying hi. I appreciate that and I receive it. You know, say hi and definitely just pop your question in. Okay. Okay. So from India. So sweet. Hi, Divine Soul. Query for today. I request your good self to keep... Oh, okay. Oh, wait a minute. I think you sent in 2 questions. Did you? Yeah, I don't... Let's see if we'll do one, and then we'll see if we have time. We'll go back to the second one. Because this is the first one I got this morning when I woke up from you. And I don't know if you want me to say your name. And please, if you, you know, if you're on Insta or on YouTube, often we have handles, right? Names that we either are our real name there or that we make up. So, but if you don't want me to say your name, please tell me and I'll either make you up a name or we'll keep it incognito. So here we go. Please tell me, why is it that I am encountered by lots of friction between me and my husband from the past? Okay, so right away, I'm not even reading, I will, but right away I'm getting because you don't want to be there. From the past 25 years, I am surrounded with many challenging situations, which is leaving me in pain. Now I started getting the idea of moving out with my children, but got stuck because my daughter got engaged. You got stuck because your daughter got engaged in March. My husband had an argument recently with my brother and troubling me a lot. Please guide me what I should do. Thank you, love. Okay. So why? Again, what came right away is that you know, why has this been happening for 25 years? And you know, everything I share, I have no agenda here. It's just what is coming through. You take it or you leave it, everyone. You take it or you leave it if it resonates. You know, if it resonates, if it serves, if it helps, so be it. If it doesn't, that's okay too. That's okay. That's really okay. Oh my gosh. Insta's gonna disappear. Okay. Because the Instagrams are only an hour. I'll come back. I'll come right back. So pardon me 1 second. I am going to get to that question. I'm going to reload Instagram here. All right. Okay, blessings. Thank you and welcome back, Insta followers. So, my dear friend in India, well, actually, I don't know you, but we've had some correspondence and you're very lovely. So I appreciate your correspondence and your support. But I am getting that you have actually not wanted to be there for a long, long time. And this is the root of why things aren't working, because you haven't wanted to really be there. Only you know the truth. Only you know how you feel about your husband. And it's interesting because I had not read that email this morning. This is the first time I saw it. And within reading that first sentence, that's what I got, is that you don't want to be there. So, and then reading the rest of the message, you're saying, you're ready to move out, take the kids and move out. Higher self is saying it doesn't matter that your daughter got engaged. It really doesn't matter. It's unprecedented, because of what I do get is that and I could be wrong, but what I'm getting is from your higher self. But there's this idea that in the culture, and it's very Western as well, where there's this idea of couples staying together for the sake of the children. Yet that paradigm is changing, is lifting, and that you may be one of the first in your community, one of the first women of your age group, one of the first women in your circle, in your group, to be brave enough to do that, to change that paradigm for yourself and others. So your higher self is saying, don't worry that your daughter got engaged. Whatever third dimensional issues or concerns you might have with that, higher self is saying they don't exist. So don't make trouble. Don't put worrisome thoughts, troublesome thoughts, blockages, resistances where they are not. Do not create them. Higher self is saying, do not create them. Obviously, you're going to do what God tells you to do, right? I am simply a messenger sharing some information here. Yet there's the word that's coming is bravery. Let's pull a little angel card here. The word that's coming is bravery for you. This is going to take a lot of courage and a lot of going deep. A lot of going deep for you to get that courage. Because if it's taken you this long to even recognize, and now I'm assuming that this is all resonant, right? I'm going to just go with it. If it's taken this long for you to actually realize that you're not happy in that relationship, and you really haven't been for a very, 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 very long time, then there's a lot of layers of things that you have not been looking at. And again, I say that with love. And so your ability to look deeper with that depth card so that you can go through those layers of the stories of all the reasons we give ourselves why we should stay in the relationship, why we should, because my daughter got engaged and it's going to look bad, or whatever the societal, I get that there's like societal cultural pressures that are not real, though. Higher self is saying that is of the world. Higher self is saying, and you are not of the world. Woo! You're not of the world. You've already tapped enough spirit. Ooh, higher self is saying you've already tapped enough spirit to know better. So that seems very firm. Yet sometimes love is firm. Sometimes spirit is firm with us, right? Sometimes the guidance is direct like that. And higher self is also saying that higher self doesn't want you to feel under pressure as well, that you have to move out now that you said it and it's an idea. Yet know that the wheels are already in motion. And energetically, what I'm getting, your higher self is saying you've already moved out. So the grids, and I know you understand the grids, are in motion. They are running. They are calibrated. They are activated. You've already been planting the seeds, whether you've been conscious or not of it, for this to happen, for this separation, for this healing. It's really a healing, and it's a healing for your whole family, because your children know that you are just staying together for them. Your children know that you are going through the motions. They are under no romantic fantasy about their mother and father and the relationship that you share together. And I'm not getting that your husband's a bad person or a mean person or anything. It's just not a match. And you are not an average woman. You, higher self is saying you have quite a destiny ahead of you. And it's as if your spirit knows that you will not touch, taste, tap that destiny as long as you stay in the confines of a certain circumstance that is your life, that has been your life for a century of your life. Okay? I pray that that serves you. Again, I'm keeping these succinct so we can get through as many as possible. And now I see that you had written, when I checked the email quick and I just looked early this morning, I saw that there was one in there. And now I see that there's a second one, but I'm going to get back to the screen. So maybe I'll get to that. And if I don't now, then we will at another time. Okay, my friend in India. Again, so, oh my God, Stephen Brown. I just want to say 3 words to you, Stephen Brown. I love you. Blessings. I'm going to be in Ireland. I'm going to be in Ireland in September of 2019. I know you guys, I think you guys are living in Vegas now or something, but Stephen Brown, if this is the Stephen Brown, then I think you are. We used to be in a band together for many years back in Ireland. And so thank you for hopping on. And Boz is here. And you know, Boz, I don't know if I'm saying your tag, Boznacity. That's how I say it. And I pray it's okay. So blessings. Thank you, everyone. On Instagram, Fefana, who wanted me to put my feet up to the screen. You're hilarious. But listen, if you do have a question, put it in the DM in Instagram, and I will get to it. Don't type it in the screen, please, and I will get to it. But we're going to go back over to YouTube land. So let me see. So let's do this in order. And I know, Eleni, you have a lot here. Scheduled or okay, so for anyone just joining, and I may just skip past this because I feel that what higher self said is what higher self said. And there's a lot. See, all of this, and it's like I feel like all of this, and I say this with respect, Eleni, but I don't even know if I'm supposed to read that, because that's exactly what higher self was talking about, is all of this, all these words and all of these 3 paragraphs here. And I say this with love and respect, but this is exactly, that's the ball of yarn. That's the thoughts, that's the thinking, that's all the words, and that's trying to figure it out and control it and trying to turn it over. And Spirit is just saying, like, take a breath. And like, it's really, on one hand, it's not important, it doesn't matter. And on another hand, what is important is the bigger picture of this kind of a situation and your reaction to it in your life. And again, I don't know you. I'm not trying to scold anyone or be anything other than love, but that's my intuitive, straight up hit. And so for now, with absolute respect, I'm guided to move on, my dear. I'm guided to move on to the next question because we've only got so much time. So God bless. Okay, SPE. So I know Anushe. Hello, Anushe. Hello again. Happily ever after. Okay, and then, but SPE was before you, happily ever after. So we'll get to you, and then we'll check if there's any DMs on Instagram. Okay, so SPE consciousness. Yes. Okay, says, thank you for trying the first time, because earlier you had asked me, hello, what do you think of the CE5, Dr. Stephen Greer, etc.? And I said, please educate me. And you said, now you're saying, thank you for trying the first time. Basically, what's your take on the colored stars within the star fields of consciousness, like the red, blue, green, etc.? So this, okay, so you're asking, are you asking me, or are you asking your higher self? Because this is a show, oh, boom, blessings, Will. Thank you for joining, dear. Because this is a show where what you ask me, I get from your higher self. So I just want to make sure that you understand. If you're asking me personally, Tuesday, this person right here, that's a different show. That's a different conversation, and perhaps something that we can email about or message about. But just so that you understand the way that this show works, because I know you're a new follower, a new subscriber, and I'm so grateful for that. But the way that this show works is that participants will ask me whatever question it is, and then I ask your higher self. So what I will be doing, if that is your question, is I will be asking your higher self then for what your take is on it. Do you understand? So it's a little funny in that way. And if that's what you want me to do, then give me a sign. But if you're asking me personally any on a tafe, if you're asking me personally, then I think that's a conversation we might have outside of this domain. Okay, my friend? And I say that with love and respect. Okay, so happily ever after says, my good question is this: what upcoming actions can I expect to see from Essa, my Pisces ex? I'm a Leo female. Okay, what upcoming actions can you expect to see from Essa, your Pisces ex? You are a Leo female. They're saying use the cards. You know, well, what I was getting is nothing. I was getting nothing. You can expect nothing. And then what cards come? Inner voice, which is meditate, meditate, meditate. And silence, which is silence. So let's just take a moment and we'll go a little deeper and we'll see if there's anything further. Higher self is saying there's nothing there for you right now. Move on. And again, that's pretty succinct and firm and straightforward, but that's what higher self is saying. Higher self is also saying, let go of having any expectations from your ex. Higher self is saying it's time to move on now. Right? Silence. Silence speaks to, right, that aspect that we've been talking about this afternoon of not creating worlds that are from the thinking mind. Silence is about dropping into the heart space and listening to truth, listening to your higher self. And so, again, I get no, and that there's nothing that, okay, higher self is saying there's nothing of service for you there. The space that you have shared together has served its time. Take what has been given and learn well from it, is what I'm getting. Learn well from it. Okay? Pray that serves you. It's time to move on. Yeah, it's time to move on. Okay? Now, I said I was going to check Insta. Let's see if there's any DM messages. Okay, nothing new. So again, if you are on Insta and you have a question, you can DM me. Blessings, Eniana Tafe, Eniana Tafe. Absolutely. Are these the ones? These are the ones. I have two pairs, but these are the ones with that. Okay, so let's see. Okay, so SPE consciousness. Okay, and Eleni's back on. You don't get it. I wasn't connected to delivery time, nor did I care. I was told it was delivered, but it wasn't. Okay. Okay, so SPE consciousness again, as I responded to your question, if you're still around, I was clarifying how I do this show and how I'm of service in this show. And I pray that you were there to hear it. So, and I'm happy to have that conversation with you, but I just pray that you understood the premise of how this little Q&A operates. Okay, so Anushe from India says, will you do a career reading for me? Will I get a job? You're also from India, also. Almond. Almond? Almond? Do I have almonds on the brain? Okay, awesome is what I meant to say. So will you get a job? And I want to make sure I have your name again. Anushre. Anushre. Glasses on, glasses off. Will you do a career reading for me? Okay. So this is really strange. This is really, really strange, Anushre. The first thing out of the gate that comes is that your question is, will you get it? Will you get a new job, right? And higher self is saying, not until you get a new pair of shoes. What does that mean? What does that even mean? What does that mean to you? Ah, okay, higher self is illuminating. So what I'm getting is that this speaks to a new direction. It could also speak literally to a new pair of shoes, but it also speaks to a new direction in your life, allowing yourself to move in a new direction, to take the steps. So sometimes jobs come to us, you know, through a friend or through, they just fall in our lap sometime. And I really don't know what it's like in India, but I feel that divine synchronicity is not different, right? Through the continents. It just is when it is. Yet there are sometimes in a 3D nature, in the worldly way, that there is a time and space to do the hustle, if you will, to do the work, the 3D, the third dimensional printing of the resume, getting the new suit, getting the new shoes, shining them up, doing your homework on whatever that you're applying for, making sure that you're up to scratch with it and that you know the newest information that people are talking about to put you on the top of the pile. You know, there's things, or you really make those phone calls, you go out of your way to introduce yourself to the manager, or, you know, there's these 3D things. And I get that this is that situation now. This is where you're at, is that it is time to get those new pair of shoes. Go. You know what I'm also getting from your higher self is that you're, and I say this with love, you're not reaching high enough. And that's what the new pair of shoes and the new direction is all about. Like metaphorically, but also physically in the 3D, your new pair of shoes, that there's a new direction. Your spirit is ready to take you, to show you, to uplift you to. Yet if you keep applying for that exact same job that represents who you were and who you've been in the last 10, 15 years, sure, you can get a job, yet there's more for you. You wouldn't be asking right now if there wasn't. There's more for you. And so there is an aspect of allowing yourself to dream bigger, to grow bigger, buy a bigger pair of shoes. No, I'm joking. But to take bigger steps in your new shoes, to shoot for higher of a position than you have in the past. And it may not make sense right now, and I don't know what field you're in or anything, but there's room. Even if you feel like, well, I'm not really qualified, or I don't have the certificate, you don't always need certification. This is where that footwork comes in, of making yourself accessible, of going and introducing yourself even before you send in the resume. Or, you know, there's these things that when you meditate and you pray, your spirit will guide you on how to move correctly, and the divine timing of how to and when to make those moves, so that you don't push too much, but also that you're not, that you're available without being pushy. Do you know what I mean? Like there's a divine alignment and a timing that when you listen to spirit, to God, to source, for what that is, will always put you in the seat of the divine, of that divine timing, of showing up at the right place at the right time. And so that's another aspect with these new shoes, is that you're clearing your communication with God. You're honing in a clearer way, so that you can be on time. And okay, so that you praying, meditating, tuning in, listening to the voice for God, or whatever word you might call it, energy, universe, source, spirit, whatever word you give that, love really is what it is, what I teach. That the new shoes idea and that aspect of listening for when to make your move, where to go to look, to buy your shoes, to look for work, to whatever, or who to ask, like all of that, there's a divine thread running through it that is only going to make its connection as you align with the divine. Okay, but I see that I get that there's total opportunity for you. We're going to pull one of these. I have these little angel cards, and I'm guided to pull one for you with regard to this job, this work, this career. Communication. So I get again that this has to do your communication with spirit, with God, with the divine, with your own higher self, and also that aspect of that communication as it's guided to make your introduction, to go to, to do things in a new way. And what another card I was guided now to pull, you got risk. So there is taking a risk. So again, that speaks to that aspect that we were sharing just a moment ago of doing things differently. You are not the same person you were 10 or 15 years ago. Yeah, sure, you can get those same kind of jobs. You will not be fulfilled. It is time to shoot higher, to grow more. Okay, dear? So blessings, and thank you for watching from India. It's so exciting to know there's family, there's people out here. Okay, so SPE consciousness came back on. You or me, sorry, cool, my take, yeah, cool. Cool, what's my higher self's take on the color light? Ah, there you go. SPE consciousness, that is so awesome. Yes, there's maybe time for just another couple of questions. I'm gonna wrap up here shortly. So if you do have one, throw it into the comments here on YouTube. I see there's one or two. Okay, okay, beautiful. So SPE. So he was talking about the colored light, or I'm assuming you're a male. I get male, but I could be wrong. So pardon me if not. So SPE is asking, what's your take on the colored stars within the star fields of consciousness? And this is just so juicy, this question, right? Like red, blue, green. But then I went on and I said, well, this is the kind of show that I channel your higher self. So if you're asking me Tuesday specifically, then we might have to email outside of the show on that. And then you came back and you said, okay, cool. What's my higher self's take on the colored lights? So let's drop in for a moment, SPE. They are here to represent the different frequencies of consciousness as we have come to know them and come into agreement with them as what they represent, reflected in similarity to the teachings of the chakras. Okay? that was easy. That's what I get. That's what I get. And I know that's kind of succinct, but it feels like that's all there is for now. If there's more, there will be more. But I get that that's specific to what that correlates to. So if you keep seeing green lights, explore the color green, frequency wise, color therapy wise, chakra wise, similar with red or with blue. If you see them all at the same time, look them all up. There is information there for you. And even though there's many books on chakras and color therapy and stuff, the journey for you, the journey of exploring, whether you're at a bookstore, at a spiritual expo, or whatever it is, your journey of exploring those colors, especially the one or the ones that really speak to you and that draw you in, there's fruit there for you to excite you, to expand your awareness, and to invite you. It's like you'll be lifted. It's like they're little steps. They're little stairs for you. So even just your innate, like, whoa, what is that? What does that mean? Like, that's there for a reason. That's drawing your awareness there for a reason, so that you can like walk through that doorway and explore the colors. And I keep hearing colors, colors, colors. I don't know if you paint, but I see a little bit of a and I'm kind of being funny here, but I see a little bit of the, what's that movie? Close Encounters of the Third Kind. Where you could get kind of like, you know, in a good way, crazy, in a good way, in a healthy way, obsessed with one or these three colors, and start to explore, okay, now I'm getting healing, your own healing path. And perhaps the way that you can hold space for others and the healing that you facilitate and that you share with others. Yeah, that's so cool. But I am getting that they're there for a reason for you. I pray that that serves you. And thank you so much. Thank you for understanding and how this show works, and for being patient with that. Thank you so much. And blessings. I really appreciate it. It's a cool question. Okay, Anushre says, thank you. You're very welcome. Joni, do I add my question in yet? Yes, please. Has anyone fallen for me right now? Okay, so Joni's asking, I am taking like maybe one or two more. Let me just check really quick. If no one has left anything on Insta, then we're gonna not do any more Instas. Okay, we're done with the Instas. Okay. So we'll just be taking one or two more here on the YouTube. Okay, so Joni says, has anyone fallen for me right now? And I'm assuming that you mean romantically. Has anyone fallen for you right now, Joni? Okay, so I'm getting some pretty curt, straightforward. Again, a lot of the counsel today has been very firm. It's like we're out of that Mercury retrograde, and now the communication is just like zoom, zoom, zoom. And again, it is always my intention to speak as impeccably as I can and from a place of love, and know that I have no personal interest in trying to make things go one way or another. I'm simply channeling your higher self for the highest good of all, of everyone listening. Because these messages, you know, people listen in, they don't ask a question, but it's like a talk show in a way, because there's so many multiple layers and colors of questions that there's even something there for someone who's listening in that doesn't even really have a question, but they're just supporting or listening in, and they might get something from this for their own path. And I have no interest in changing anyone or healing anyone or changing anything at all, right? I am just here, a channel of love and light. Okay, so what I'm getting for you, Joni, is, and it was a little firm, where it says no. It's not going to. Someone is not going to come in. Why? Because you still have the energetic remnants of, at first I got your ex, but now I'm getting your exes. There's still parts of your relationships from the past that you have not had proper closure with, energetically and in your heart, or forgiven. There's like, oh, there's a phone call coming in. How funny is that? So whether it's, there's homework for you to do. There's healing for you to do. There's tying up of loose ends for you to do, Joni. Before like a real, I mean, it's one thing to go to happy hour, get buzzed, maybe make out with someone if that's your jam. I don't know, but I'm just painting a little metaphor, right? That's one thing. But if you're looking for like romance, for like to really cultivate some kind of a relationship or a level of intimacy with a sacred other in a monogamous way that is not just like out for the night to have some fun, you know, then there's homework to do. There's stuff that you get to reflect on in your life, because what I'm seeing is, you know what I'm seeing is remember in those old movies, like Gone with the Wind, and the women would wear those really nice tight little bustier things, little hats and stuff, but they'd have those big skirts, right, with the big hoops in them. And what I'm seeing, and maybe it's time that you get to see this now, maybe you're unaware of it, and of course only if it resonates, but I'm seeing that under your skirt, under your hoop skirt, there's like some dudes under there that they have not been, they still hanging out with you energetically under your skirt. And I know I'm laughing, but it's all, And I mean that in the highest way, in that it's hiding. They're hiding. And because they're under that hoop skirt, it makes me feel that there's this it's on a subconscious level. So again, perhaps you weren't ready. It wasn't time for you to be aware of these hidden aspects that are working with you, walking with you. And perhaps it just hasn't been time for that healing yet. But now it is. Wait a minute. Frequency jam. It's been a minute. Okay, that's all I'm gonna say. And welcome. We're just wrapping up here though. Okay, so Joni, so there's these hidden male energies under this hoop skirt, and it's like these unresolved relationships from your past. And so again, it feels that it's time now for them to come up, for them to be, and it could be as easy as just like, oh yeah, I haven't really properly had closure with that person, or I never really totally forgave Todd or Bob or whatever they might be. And so there's this aspect of really being honest with yourself. So that I'm getting there's 2 or 3. And it's because it's under the skirt, the hoop skirt, it's like in that subconscious, it's in that basement area. So wherever there's grievances, wherever there has been unforgivenesses, wherever there have been aspects of things that you have not been ready or wanted to see or come to terms with yet, it feels your higher self is saying that you're ready now. You are ready now to go there. Okay, we're going to pull an angel card. You're ready now. And that's what is calling to be complete, especially if you seek to have like an intimate relationship that is not just a one-night stand. And I feel that you do, but there's some work. And so and until that work happens with that closure, the other is not going to happen. Honesty is what came up for you, Joni. So it's time to be just fully honest with yourself. And that's a part of the work that we do as a conscious being, right? Is we do our work, our healing, so that we can be free from the past, free from projecting the past into the future, so we can learn how to relax into the now. And that's where your gifts, your true blessed gifts are. So I pray that serves you, Joni. Okay, this is Joni's like, this is intense. Happy hour isn't my jam. I know, me neither. It used to be, but not anymore. Oh, she said, okay, Joni says there's a few hidden men, but I haven't done anything with them. Just flirted and been interested in back and forth for a while. Yeah, and that, and that's cool. Flirtation is flirtation, yet, and you could flirt for the rest of your life, but if you want a relationship, and as your higher self is just simply guiding that if the more real and healed and clear that you are within your own domain, that is going to just naturally allow for that clarity in those beings that would resonate with you on that level, and not only find you attractive and be turned on with you and have the chemistry and all that stuff, but to really see you, to really like you, your authentic self, your true self, and for you to really like them, where there can be a connection that is beyond just the physical flirt and beyond just a flirt, right? And so I pray again that serves you, and blessings on your healing path. It's exciting. It's exciting when you get, especially if this resonates, that you get to do this work. Because again, it's all about us. It's all about you, right? It's all about you healing you, me healing me. And then the highest good is added unto us. Okay, whether that's through relationship, that's through the financial prosperity, whether that's through a healing, divine synchronistic circumstances. Okay. So SPE came back on and said, thanks 1 million, much appreciated. That's definitely an infinite amount of ways to perceive them. Yes, because earlier I love the variety of all these questions, because you were asking about the colored stars within the star fields of consciousness. And okay, so I'm glad that resonated. Thanks for your interpretation. Thanks. It's a great show and very positive. Oh, blessings. Okay, thank you. And thank you. Okay. Joni says thanks. Everyone, we are going to, Olivia just hopped on. You know what? Oh, Olivia. Okay, this is the last one then. Go for it, Olivia. Ask your question, and then we're going to wrap up after this. And I'm so grateful. I love these 2 platforms. While Olivia is typing in her comment on YouTube, I'm just going to, again, offer my gratitude to Instagram, to YouTube. These are my 2 favorite platforms. As I mentioned earlier, I am making a film called Grid Mind Science. And it's a metaphysical movie that is going to display and bring forward all of the teachings that I've spent the greater part, at least almost half of my life, exploring and having a very intimate relationship with, and it feels that it's time to share the teachings of self-love and self-mastery in this 3D that we live and experience, and learn how to bridge through this physical body from the tip of our tongues and the mastery of our minds, a 4D level of consciousness that is a consciousness that is rooted in the heart, that is rooted in love. And I call that heaven on earth realization. And that is simply you living your true authentic self, your true authentic life, your perfect health, your perfect joy. And it's very simple, yet what I feel that the grid has to offer is a new way to understand how the universe works. And once we get that individually and collectively together, what I was saying to the BFF this morning is it's like, or the sister, I was saying this to the sister last night on the phone, is that it's like in that movie, The Wizard of Oz, you know, everyone's like, whoa, the Wiz, what's going on? Wow, magic and miracles and whatever all this stuff is. And then the curtain gets pulled and it's just this little dude behind a green curtain. And then once you see like what's really happening, like all of a sudden, then you're empowered and you're like, oh, and it connects these dots in our consciousness individually and collectively. And I feel, and again, I'm not doing this for that reason, because I honestly feel when you get to a certain point, there's nothing to change because you live in the now. And the now is bliss, is joy, is a divine perfection where all is flow. And it sounds crazy, but an inner and interdimensional shift does happen. And I know because I'm living it. And it comes through the understanding of how, well, it comes through many things. And I can't tell you what yours is, but as I've learned, it's love, self-healing. And this grid method that I'm going to be sharing in the movie and in these teachings. And I mean, there's, you know, if you follow me on, if you're a subscriber on YouTube, there's already stuff up about it. But I'm going to be sharing more and more at my Instagram at Grid Mind Science, and breaking down the metaphysics of how the universe works and how you are intimately connected to that already, and how you can, with your consciousness, learn how to tap that field and be a master of your time and space, bridge heaven on earth realization, be in the world, not of it, be in the world, not affected by it. Transmute and retranslate through the transmission of a new language of light, a greater understanding of who you are authentically, to be empowered by that and to live it. So if you are new and you appreciate what I'm sharing, every week I do this live stream, 4D Trinity, where we bridge fourth dimensional consciousness through the unity of mind, body, and emotions with spirit. Again, I said it at the beginning of the show. And until I find a more impeccable word to use, I will say this, that your spirit and your soul is unfuckable with, and you really, me really learning to lean into that, to trust that, and to move away from old stories and paradigms and into a place of empowerment and wholeness and unity versus separation versus fear and love is a part of the juice, is a part of the empowerment and a part of the healing. So this is what we do at the show. Next week, the show is going to be on AI consciousness. What? Oh my God. Okay. Tripping out on that one. I have no idea what we're going to talk about yet, but that's what I'm being told. AI consciousness. Next week's 4DT. Once a month, if you're new here, just hanging out, dropping by, I do this Q&A, Ask Me Anything, where you can leave a DM, comment on Insta, or a comment in the what's it called? YouTube. If you're not a subscriber at my website, and you appreciate the energy, the teachings, just the everything, go to my website. Link is down in the show more or at the main page of my Insta, and you will receive my monthly love letter. Once a month, I send out a love letter to my subscribers full of free goodies that if you're not a subscriber, you don't generally have access to. If you want to donate to my YouTube channel, there's a PayPal link down below. And I am an author. I have books. Some are free, some for purchase. All the links are down below. So thank you again, everyone. And we're going to finish off with this last question. If you have written it, Olivia says, what way? And this is the last question, everyone. So if you're just hopping on, just so you know, okay. What way does Mason see me, the man with the blue shirt? Okay. And I'm sorry, Joanne, I had already told Olivia that this was the last question. So next month, I do this show once a month. You can come back if you're guided. So what way does Mason see me, the man with the blue shirt? Okay, Olivia. What way does Mason see Olivia? So we're going to quest. And what I do here is I channel your higher self, right? Just for clarity, in case you're new hopping on. So what I'm getting, Olivia, is that I don't know where you see this man, but I'm getting that he sees you as the girl at the store, whatever that means. And he has not developed a mind about you, meaning he doesn't have a lot of thoughts about you other than he recognizes you when he sees you. And he feels that you are kind, you are a nice person. And I'm getting that's about it. Like it hasn't gone any deeper than that. It hasn't gone any deeper than that. If it is going to, okay, I get a yes, but not to be revealed at this time. Ooh, not to be revealed at this time. Okay, let's just see what the cards might say, just in closing here. Because it's all about divine timing, especially with, if there's, which I'm getting that there's like a romantic, like, question mark about this. That stuff just can't be forced. And yes, there are times where we get to show up when our heart guides us, right? And we're learning to really trust that versus the mind, trying to make sense of, well, he never texted me or he never called me. And I know it's very 3D, and sometimes we want those things to happen to confirm what we think is going on. Yet there's also this divine gift of allowing and of just stepping back and allowing things to be whatever they are, and in cultivating non-attachment so that the divine can come in and can orchestrate and organize the most high circumstances. If that relationship, if that connection is in service really to you, then it will reveal itself more and more and more. And it doesn't mean that we don't sort of, make it known if you have an interest in him that you do, yet there's even a timing with that. With how much, right, we reveal at a time, and it's a dance. It's a dance. And so while there's not much going on now, what your higher self is saying is that there is a potential, but it's not a time for it now. And remember earlier I was talking about the bubble of light. I don't know if you just hopped on. There's a whole 4D Trinity, a show on the 4D Trinity playlist about bubble of light. You might want to watch it. We were talking about it earlier, that when we don't want to psychically bombard, right? If we're talking about romance and like crushes and all that sort of stuff, especially if you're here on this show, then there's a sense of your spiritual sensitivity and awareness that if you're having a million thoughts about the guy in the blue shirt or this Mason character, then he's going to feel that. And energetically, right, if you want that to happen, that's great. Yet knowing that we're all psychic and that we all feel and sense everything, even if it's only on a hidden subconscious level, that's being expressed. And so again, what I'm getting with this person is that he is not one, I'm getting he's very sensitive, and that he's actually very in his feminine. He is straight, but I'm getting that he's very in his feminine. And so he's very intuitive and he's sensitive. So be mindful not to, now they're saying put the cards away, be mindful not to bombard him with psychic pressure. And so use the bubble of light, call in a bubble of light. If you have thoughts about this person, put them in the bubble. That way they won't run grids. They won't send energy out to stick to him, to stick to you. And the field is clear of that information, and the bubble will disappear in the most perfect time and space. It'll just transmute into love and into light. Okay? So that's what I get for you, Joan. Was that for Joni? There's so many. No, that was Olivia. Okay, blessings. So she says, yes, suspension. It's a bookstore. You see, I was totally getting that he knows you as the girl in the store. Yes, okay. So everyone, we're gonna wrap up. So I know there was a few that hopped on here on YouTube, and I'm not sorry. It's just what it is. But the show is going to be complete now. So please, once a month, come back, first come, first serve. I try to wrap these up now within an hour and a half. And I thank you. I thank you. Again, all my links are down in the show more box. If you're strictly a YouTube subscriber, but you're on Instagram, check me out. My Instagram link is down in the show more box. Instagram fam, thank you so much for your love and your support. I'm so very grateful. YouTubers, I love you. I think I've been on YouTube for like 15 years or something ridiculous. And I'm very grateful. I love them. I love these platforms. And again, check out my new film. It's not going to be out, apparently, Universe says, until 2022, but follow my journey, follow the whole situation at Grid Mind Science at Instagram. There's a Grid Mind Science playlist that I'm starting on my YouTube, so you can follow my journey of making this metaphysical film. It is pretty fucking interesting, the synchronicities, the things that are happening. I'm going to make a video soon for my second Grid Mind Science log. There's already the first one up, so you can follow the journey as you're guided. So thank you, everyone. I'm so very grateful. Namaste, with so much love, with so much love. Thank you, and have a blessed, blessed, blessed day. All right, thank you so much. Blessings, blessings. I don't even know. Oh yeah, here we go. There we go. Okay. Thank you, YouTube. Blessings.